It's expensive to be made.
Welcome to Bravo's Moms Unfiltered, the podcast where real moms spill the tea on all the things Bravo and the chaos of everyday life.
We're your hosts, Allie and Crystal, two Bravo-assessed moms who aren't afraid to say what everyone's thinking completely unfiltered.
From housewives drama to mom life meltdowns, we're here to break it all down with humor, honesty, and maybe a little bit of bitching.
So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and get ready for some unfiltered fun. Welcome back, Bravo moms. We got a lot to catch up on. I could start with Rhode Island. I did 2 episodes. So episode 5, Joe Ellen, Liz, and Alicia all hang out. We learned that Joe Ellen's grandfather passed away while she was on her work trip in Chicago, and she was very close to her grandfather. They filled Joe Ellen in about what happened during the bike ride. I don't think she was there, right? Because she was on that work trip. They talk about how Rosie turned on Alicia and made everything up, but they ended up making up in the end. Ashley goes to Kelsey's house, and I didn't realize that Kelsey was actually good at doing hair and makeup. And
Yeah.
in her boyfriend's house, he has like his own salon and stuff, so she can actually like take clients there. So she does Ashley's hair, I think, for an event. And we learned that Kelsey's boyfriend has kids that are 3 years younger than her. So however old she is, he's got 3 kids that are 3 years younger than her.
Whoa, wait. We haven't seen him on TV and he owns that big house. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So he does have
He has
kids. That's
kids.
why he doesn't want to have any more kids with Kelsey.
Correct, because he
Okay.
already has older kids. So I feel like that makes more sense now, because I thought he
Yeah.
was, like, her age. Kelsey says she can't get to know Rosie, and she doesn't know Rosie because she won't open up to her. She tells Ashley that she did Rosie's hair for an event and hair and makeup, and Rosie never posted about it on, like, Instagram or something, and that really rubbed her the wrong way, and I feel like that's where all of this anger from anger from Kelsey is, what do you call it? I lost my train of thought. Where all of this anger is stemming from Kelsey that she doesn't like Rosie. It's because of this. The ladies go to this gay boat party. On the boat, Kelsey says Rosie doesn't show support, which is what we just talked about. Kelsey did her hair and makeup, and Kelsey said Rosie never took a picture of it because Ashley was taking a selfie with her before she left, saying, I'll post about it. Joe Ellen and Rula meet up. Joe Ellen says she doesn't have anything against her. It's against her husband. Rula says she knows her husband very well, but if someone's going to pull the wall over her, she wants to know. Joe Ellen says she has a text from the mistress and shows Rula. Rula says they are fake and that she is good with using AI. Rula says she has a GPS tracker on her husband, so she knows where he goes. So she says he goes to the gym, and Joe Ellen says no, they have breakfast together every morning. So Rula is either Hi, Luigi. Rilla is either really dumb or just does not want to believe what is happening. Because
I think she knows.
I don't
I think
understand
she's
why
just
someone would make AI text of this. Like, who has that much time on their hands to do
I
that?
think she knows. She just doesn't,
She's just in denial
yeah,
of
she's
him.
trying to deny it. Or maybe next season that was gonna be her thing is she wants to come on the show and the first season's always like
Yeah,
we're rough on the rocks and then the next
yeah,
season she's leaving.
yeah, that's true. Alicia is having an event for, or Angela. Alicia is having, a polo event, so they're all meeting at this bar that her and her husband, Billy, her husband,
Mhm.
own. Kelsey brings Billy, her second boyfriend, and they're gonna take a bus to this polo place. Rula and Brian show up, but he gets bad news about his mom and says they have to go to the hospital. So they both leave to go to the hospital. While everyone is on this party bus, Joe Ellen's friend texts her and says Brian, Rula's husband, is trying to see the mistress while his mom is supposedly in the hospital. So they call Rula, and Rula says Brian's in there with his mom. I'm out here giving them privacy. So I don't know what to believe. It all seems very weird to me.
I
Like,
think the whole mom is made up.
how would he sneak out? Or like, was Rula just like downstairs in like that big waiting room, and he just like act like he was going upstairs and just pieced out?
I think they used the mom as an excuse, the hospital, and I think to me it sounded like the mistress was gonna do something because maybe she was hurt that he was gonna go spend time
Maybe,
and
yeah. That she threatened
video.
to do something.
Yeah, so she
Yeah.
threatened they need to de-escalate the situation, and they used, "Oh, we gotta go somewhere."
So you think Rilla know?
Mhm. And she's not saying anything.
Maybe, maybe. Rula and Brian end up meeting the rest of the group and their husband, or rest of the ladies and their husbands at this polo event. They notice he doesn't have his wedding ring on, and Joellen says the mistress just posted a picture of herself in his car. So Liz asks Brian and Rula to go for a walk to talk about the drama. He says he's not doing this in camera and says he's going to leave. Joellen shows Rula the IG post before she leaves of the mistress in his car.
Oh my god.
Brian starts taking off his mic and saying it's not Joellen's business and to stop making a big deal. How is like it's on Instagram. Like she's publicly posting it.
Mm,
Brian says the mistress called him yesterday and he told Rula. So him and the mistress are still in contact. And he told Rula about it. So he says they're working on their marriage, but I don't know, something just doesn't feel right about this. So maybe you're right. Maybe Rula is in on this and she's just trying to play dumb, like she has no idea. Episode 6. So we started this episode with a big shocker. We learned that Kelsey ended it with her boyfriend. She said the
yeah.
relationship had run its course and it won't change, and she wants a real solid relationship, and she said he didn't even fight it. She did say when she brought it up to him, that he understood and said she needs to do what's right for him, and they spent the rest of the night cuddling and just kind of that was it. All the ladies are heading to Newport to stay in mansions. When they get there, they all get assigned different rooms, and Kelsey's kind of talking about her situation, and she has so much to learn now that she's not with her boyfriend because her boyfriend literally funded her whole life and did everything for her. So this will be very interesting to see, especially season 2, how she
Mhm.
like copes with all this and moves on from her life. They get to
But
the
they
house and have a
always it
dinner.
seems like a pattern though, like with the housewives, they always pick
It
one
does.
lady, like
Yes.
Erica Jane, she had to figure it out.
Shannon Bedore
There's
had
some
to
other
too.
women. Yeah, there's always one woman, that's their storyline. They go from being
Heather
perfect,
Gay.
millions to like, yep,
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. So they all get to the house. They have dinner with these dolls, and Alicia is loving it because she has so many of these dolls in her
it's
house.
so
Everyone else thinks
creepy.
it's so creepy. Yeah,
There's
I
no
also
way you could get me in a room with them.
no. We learned that Rula is not there, and the ladies don't know if she's gonna show. Um, they said they all need to drop the affair rumors and just let Rula be at this point, which I think is true. Just you can't do much more than just let her be. She either
Yeah.
knows, like you said, and is faking it, or she'll find out soon enough. So
I think you should let tell it on her own pace and
yeah,
story
which
instead
she
of
will.
these women pressuring her and be like,
Yeah,
"Oh, look what we found, look."
yeah, because she's obviously not ready to talk about it.
Right. She's in
So
denial, which is a
she
stage of
has
it.
she has, yes. So for dinner, Liz hands out these masks for all the ladies to wear to dinner.
I saw it.
At the party, she wants all of them to, like, talk about something that I forget what she said, but just talk about something that no one knows and then take your mask off, like, unmask yourself. So they start with Joellen, and Joellen talks about how her mom made her go to this behavioral program for bad kids. And it was more for like, she didn't say convicts, but kids that just had like really bad issues growing up. And she said she has trauma from it and she doesn't really understood why she was there because she wasn't a bad kid. Liz says she has abandonment issues from losing her mom at a young age. I did not understand Ashley's story. She said she tried to have a sob story and said every time she's on The Bachelor, she always tried to have a sob story, and I don't know. That was really weird, and her mask was very scary. Just a cold gold face. Rosie said she
Oh,
learned
yeah.
to be what to right.
Those masks were
Rosie said
hideous.
she learned to be whatever everyone wants her to be. Kelsey says she has a tough exterior when it comes to her relationship. And Elisa asks how she's doing after the breakup. She says she's hanging in there. Kelsey says she still talks to her ex and he's still paying for things like her health insurance, car insurance, and a new place. And all the girls are like, well, like, why is he doing that? But I thought she made a good point. She said if we were married for those 10 years and we divorced, he would be giving her alimony or something. So I don't think this is bad of him. I think
Yeah.
this is his way of trying to help her out until she can financially help herself out.
And if she had to sign a contract because he's like a famous son of someone, in the contract, if they were to break up, I'm pretty sure she put in there, like, I need incentives. Like when you lose your
Yes.
job, you get incentives, like you get a payout and you last for like 3 to 6 months. And he probably said, however many years we date, that's how long
You get
I'll
that much
pay when, yeah,
something.
which I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
would be perfect.
Yeah. Alicia says her dad left them homeless as a child, or when she was a child, and Liz says that's not true. Her grandparents took them in, and Alicia said, well, if it wasn't for her grandparents, they would be homeless. So I think they have two different definitions of homeless. And then we end it with Kelsey saying she thought Rosie was being genuine for once, and Rosie kind of took that and like turned it around and like slapped it back in her face. So that's kind of how we end the episode, which was Rosie not really understanding that Kelsey thought she was actually genuine and Rosie just kind of being a bee about it. So I think Kelsey and Rosie are very similar and that's why they don't like each other. They're too similar and they compete with each other.
I think you're exactly right.
Yeah. I mean they have to be around the same age, right?
Yeah, their personalities are too much alike.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was Rhode Island. Where should we go next?
You want me to do one?
Yeah, you wanna do summer
Okay.
house,
Summer House
hospitality.
episodes 13 and 14. They go on a boat. The beginning of 13, they're on a boat for a day party, and Amanda's not there, of course. Kyle and everybody's just having a really good time. And I think Wes puts something on social media or something and puts like the best day of my life or something. So, like, Sierra video calls Amanda and gets like offended or something, like makes it about her. And Kyle's like, are you saying that you're offended from what I said or something? I just didn't understand it.
I didn't either.
And it was just what we know about Amanda now, just like her personality and what she says is like, "Oh, you're just being Amanda.
Yep.
Everything's revolved around you and stuff." You could have said, like, I'm so glad that you're having a good time. They all get back to the house and Ben's girlfriend, they're all sitting, it's a Ben, Sierra, and Jesse maybe, or somebody else is on the other side of the bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they have Sabrina's on the phone and they're talking about the day and how Wes and her made up and yada, yada, yada. And Sabrina says, well, he did say the other day that what did he say? That he has a crush on you, like we're in high school. And so Ben's like, don't say anything that I tell you or something like that. So I thought that was kind of a little bit like high school, like everybody's just happy that there's no more tension between them because when Sierra's like has her feelings, everybody just feels off, which I get.
Mhm.
Sarah and Jesse talk about how Kyle really had a good weekend without Amanda down his throat and just felt very relaxed and himself and stuff. And that's, they kind of just talk about that. And it kind of, I mean, it is what it is on TV. We see a different perspective, but I think Kyle actually puts his real true feelings and like everything about his life on reality TV. Like he
Mhm.
really doesn't hide anything. Like, so I think that's one character we can actually say that's positive about Kyle. Like he's not going to be fake. He's going to be upfront and real with you at the end of the day. Sierra and Amanda have drinks and they talk about it. And Sierra's like telling Amanda, like, maybe you guys should separate and live separately and then have a relationship kind of like back to the beginning.
Yeah.
But it's been what, 9, 10 years? And that's just like kind of hard to do because I think like if they did that, they would just be like, and they would go through this happy phase and their serotonins and whatever, and just be able to be free from each other. And I don't think they'd want to go back to the negative situation or
Yeah.
they'd want to work on it. I think they're at the give up point.
They are.
Carl has his opening at the non-alcoholic bar called the Soft Bar, which I thought was pretty cool. I like the place. The drinks looked good. The food. I just don't think that he should charge. The drink shouldn't be the same amount as this. I'm going to an alcohol bar and I'm gonna get
Yeah.
a 25
Yeah.
$30 drink. I think Carl should be like, oh, this is $10, because there's no alcohol in it. So
Yeah.
I'm just paying for a
For
soda
juice.
basically.
Yeah.
So I did notice that. Everyone shows up, even Carl's mom. Sabrina does spill the beans. She gets there and she's all excited and hugs Wes. And I guess Sabrina got them to go on a double date after the soft bar. And so we'll see how that goes. Amanda walks in and comments on the warehouse, or Lindsay walks in And as she's walking in, she's outside and she's like, "What are we in the warehouse district?"
Yeah.
And I just start dying. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Girl." And she's like, "Well," and then the confession's like, "Well, it took 2 years for him to do it. He deserves my and he finally got my attention." And she's like, "But I prefer alcohol." And I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
She brought him a small teddy bear because he likes hugs, and the bar is called Soft, so I thought that was a cute little jab,
Yeah.
and I'm glad that they can actually come to a point where they're cordial and be able to
Yeah.
pull jokes like that. Carl does admit in confession, like, he misses her at a friendship level. Luke and Andre show up, which I thought was cute. I wish Luke was back on the show because he was definitely worth watching.
Is that the one
Uh,
that's running for senator in
he's
Minnesota?
running for
Okay.
Sunday. Carl makes a speech about breaking generational cycles, and I hardcore believe that because his generation is alcohol, liver disease, and stuff like that. So I thought that was a good speech that he made, and I hope it's going well for him. The awkwardness between Carl's mom and Lindsay just did not
Yeah.
end
Yeah.
well. Carl's mom really tried hard, but Lindsay did say she should have reached out. She had plenty of opportunities to reach out, and she chose to do it with cameras. So wrong timing. I think mom should have reached out before, but I don't think they knew that Lindsay was going to show up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Lindsay definitely gave her the cold shoulder because she definitely said some things she shouldn't have said or kept it between her and the family. Wes and Amanda are talking about Wes making up with Sierra, and Amanda fake face saying it that she is so happy for them. Danielle shows up and we find out this episode that Lindsay hasn't been on speaking terms with her. And so Kyle kind of gets the backstory of Lindsay, saw the episodes. The last season Danielle was in, Carl and Lindsay were together. Or no, Carl and Lindsay weren't together. Lindsay was pregnant with this new guy. And so Danielle made some little bit of jabs about her relationship that I think she overstepped and Danielle should have backtracked it. And Lindsay's still hurt from that. And so Lindsay's not talking to her. Lindsay hurries up and leaves so Danielle doesn't confront her. And this could also be because Lindsay didn't want to mix the new show that she's in with
The
the summer house. So I
Yeah.
think she left for a reason because it's gonna probably come up in the other what is it called? New York?
The city?
What's in the city? So it'll probably
Yeah.
come up there. Jesse tells Amanda about the double date with Sierra and Ben and Sabrina, and Amanda says that's not she's like says, "How do we go from 0 to 100?" And she says Amanda, she says something like Wes has to be cautious. And that was the end of the episode. And I thought that was really weird.
Yeah,
Like,
it was.
whose side are you on? I thought you were on Sierra's side, but now Wes
Yeah.
has to be cautious. So she didn't like that idea. And she actually says something about it in the next episode, episode 14, where it starts off with Jesse and a group of them. They go to a summer camp and they go check it out. And it's a place for cancer survivors, for little kids that go through it. And I thought it was very sweet. They had a really good time. Very heartfelt moment. Good job, Jesse. They get to the house and Sierra is like dressed up in an orange suit from The Cat in the Hat. And she like has water guns everywhere. And it was kind of cute. It was funny. I love her side of her just funny side. She comes up with some crazy
Yeah.
ideas. And I think it's funny. She should be an event planner or something. They all go to the beach and everybody is bugging Wes about Sierra's relationship. And I don't know, it's kind of just a little bit over drowning now. Amanda is telling Mia, they're sitting at the beach, and she goes, I don't think I would have invited Wes and Sierra on a double date after they just made up. So
Yeah.
she's kind of like dogging Sabrina, which is Ben's girlfriend, and that she is skeptical and wary of him. So I don't know. You can definitely just either they edit it or this is an unedited, like a
Yeah.
re edit. And now that we have Amanda's backstory, it's almost like, well, We know why you're saying that.
saying this. Yeah.
Sarah and Kyle talk about Amanda thinking about taking a break. So I don't know how that's going to go. Kyle's just all over the place and is just scared to talk to Amanda. Lindsay is hosting dinner. They get back to the house and they all have to get dressed. And this dinner is the 2-year of freedom dinner. Remember how she had the 1-year of
Mhm.
freedom dinner and she dogged Carl? She calls this the last summer, the lost summer. So they have to talk about something they lost this year and something they found. So everybody goes around the table and stuff like that. Carl and Bailey are flirting. They end up making out. They end up making everybody make out. I thought was cute.
Mhm.
Kyle tells everyone he is going to be signing a contract with the Vegas residency for
Yeah.
DJing. Lindsay asked him, "Did you discuss it with your wife?" And then shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
Lindsay says it's you're supposed to be aligned, you're husband and wife. Kyle's kind of drunk, so he kind of just says his feelings. Somehow they get on the kids and stuff like that because they bring up the last reunion where Amanda wants to have kids in a house and yada yada yada. And then Kyle blurts, "Well, she's not ready to have a kid. So let's not bring that all on me."
Yeah.
And then Amanda goes, "Well, let's take the kids out of the picture then. What do we have?"
Yeah.
And so then Kyle says it pays the bills and brings him happiness. Lindsay says you're supposed to be aligned. So it just goes really bad, goes left. Kyle feels attacked once again. Amanda is back and everybody's attacking Kyle and trying to talk about his relationship. And he's like, "We don't have a relationship. We don't have a partnership."
Yeah.
I like that Ben starts to defend Kyle. And while Ben is defending Kyle, is looking at Amanda and says, "Go fuck yourself." And
Yeah.
then Lindsay stands up and she's like, "Whoa." And as soon as Lindsay steps in, you see Wes get up. He's at the opposite end of the table and gets up and sits next to Amanda. And I was like blown away. I was like,
Yeah.
so many signs,
So many signs.
and we all see it now.
But the thing is, we would
Kyle's,
never have noticed this
mhm. If
if
we
this
didn't
news didn't
see
come
it,
out.
we would just think Wes is trying to be a friend or Wes is trying
Exactly.
to de-escalate a friend
Yep. Yep.
situation. And then walks out of the house and starts fighting with Kyle, and it ends the episode, and it gets heated, like physical pushing,
Yeah.
screaming in the next episode.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes from there. But Carl and Kyle have fought before. Every time Kyle gets wasted. So let's see how it goes or who's going to win this fight.
Yeah. The Valley episode 5. Michelle tells Nia about the group trip to Fran that she is planning. Kristen, Brittany, and Zach go to get tanned and get their little downstairs areas waxed. Kristen tells them that
Stop
her
it. Zach goes to, I got to watch this
I
episode
don't think
now.
Zach does his area, he gets tanned, but
Wait, I
Brittany
did see
and
this one.
Kristen Brittany and Kristen get their little
Okay.
areas. Kristen said her and Luke are having issues and she isn't feeling heard. He keeps saying he hates LA and that isn't helping her postpartum issues because he's from Colorado and moved there to be with her.
Mhm.
Lacey and Jesse have a date. Isabella is there, and I think they're having like ice cream or something. And Jesse tells Isabella to do this phonics dance that she learned at school. And Isabella is just being a little girl and not really wanting to do it. And I love that Lucy says, "Don't force her to do it if she doesn't want to." I love
Yeah.
that she said that.
Yeah.
We learned that she is a doomsday prepper, which is kind of funny because I did not see that coming from her.
Wait, who's a doomsday prepper? What's a doomsday prepper?
Like prepping for like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
end
yeah,
of the
yeah, yeah,
world.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that was interesting.
I've been down that COVID road too
Yeah. Oh,
when
that makes sense during COVID, but
yeah, remember you get all those like packets for
yes,
like
yeah,
yeah. I mean, that's smart. I've thought about it. And we have some of those like food packets, like
yeah,
the
just in
space or
case.
camping that the food
Yeah,
lasts for a while. They're
yeah.
prepackaged and stuff. So
Brittany says she's tired of being in the middle of this Janet drama, and Janet needs to find a way to make it better on her own. It's a day of Brittany's pool party, and Jesse brings up to Tom about Michelle and Tom dating, and Tom talks about his two potential new girlfriends, which is interesting. Janet shows up later with Jason. Luke and Zach sit down to talk about Kristen and Kristen's communication issues. Luke said they need, or Zach says they need like a third person in the room to oversee everything. And Brittany's boyfriend needs to stay in his lane. He is trying to insert himself in this drama just like Jax does, and I do not like it.
Yeah, when you
And
fight with him and it definitely turns every yeah, I agree.
Zach sits down to talk to Janet. Janet said she has learned from herself last year, and she knows exactly what she needs to do, or she needs to know the exact facts and not paraphrase anything. Janet said she admired how Zach handled the drama last year, and she wants to move forward with Zach. And then we end with Janet wanting to smoke. So her and Christian do that, and Kristen said this does not change our relationship just because we are having to smoke together.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I think it does. I think it does a little bit.
You need a
You know what I
smoking
mean?
buddy.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it'll do.
So episode 6, Tom has Brittany, Janet, Jason, and Zach over to Tom, and there we meet Tom's new girlfriend who is a model and lives in LA. And if I see Tom's girlfriend one more time wearing these glasses, looking like this, over the glasses,
I saw that when she came and
I'm
introduced
gonna
herself,
I'm
and
gonna
she was
slap them
like
and she's like,
I was like, do this, ma'am. Just
"Yes."
do this."
I
So
wanna
I saw that.
the amount of times she's
Like,
like,
you could have just looked through your
"Yeah,
sunglasses.
yeah, you don't have
I
to
saw
do
that.
that."
That was an
Um,
awkward that
yeah.
was, like, her being awkward.
Yeah. So we learned that she goes between LA and New York, and she's in LA almost every other week, which is a lot of traveling. She's young, and her and Tom talk and flirt. Tom seems really giddy about her, and I feel like the group doesn't really get to ask her much questions because Tom kind of like takes her away to the bar. Nina and Kristen and Lacey go shopping for wigs and props for the San Diego trip. They're gonna do like a night, I think, where the guys dress up in drag, so they're looking for props for that. They asked Lacey if she's gonna go, and she said she isn't sure she's gonna go because of Janet. Because Janet has said some stuff about her, and we learned that they're gonna take a train from LA to San Diego. On this train, Janet thinks her and Zach are besties, and Kristen is getting pissed. Kristen's just side-eyeing Zach the whole time on this train. Janet jokes, that she's gonna plan Zach's birthday party and that she actually likes him. Lala and Michelle and Jesse, they get to this house, and it's got, like it's a main house with 2 houses off to the side and, like, llamas and all these other farm animals. So, Jesse beelines it off the bus to the house and tries to find the biggest room for him and Lacey, and Lala and Michelle are not having it, and they fight him in this room, and Lala goes, "Well, it'll be fun for all 4 of us to cozy up in this bed tonight." And Jesse's like, "I'm not leaving." And Lala's like, "I'm not either. This is Michelle's trip. She gets the biggest room." So they fight over the big room. Nina, Danny, Zach, or Kristen, and Luke all get a room because they brought their babies. And
Oh,
they all have like a nanny or like a helper to help them with the babies. Nina gets mad at Danny for not helping, and she asks him to put Adeline down. And Danny's like, "Why am I doing this when we have a nanny?" And I was like, "That's kind of a good point. Why is he doing this? Isn't that the whole point that you brought the nanny was to do this stuff so you guys could be on a trip, but also be there if you need her?" So Nanny, Dina, Kristen, and Luke all go later because of the babies. They're getting their baby situated. And Nanny and Dina are just having issues the whole time. Like, can you put Adeline in the car seat? Can you grab the diaper bag? This, and this. Like, just typical new parent stuff, even if they're not new parents. While they're there, Tom talks to the girls about his new girlfriend and says that he's really giddy and all the girls want the best for him and they don't care that she's younger than him. They think he just deserves someone nice. And Michelle talks to Lala about losing her mom and how hard it has been. And that is why they're in San Diego, is just to, I think, just relive being there and when her mom was alive. So these are okay episodes, just kind of filler.
yeah, exactly. You said it. All right, let's go to Southern Hospitality, episode 10.
Punta Cana.
Punta Cana, it's beautiful. I loved it. I've been there. They start off with Emmy is making it the center of attention. Michael's in the bathroom crying from the last episode where Emmy tries to talk to him and he was like, "Can we just table it?" And so Emmy kind of looked at that like, "Oh, we made up." I was like, "What?" So Michael starts crying in the bathroom and it's like, she doesn't get it. Like, she just thinks everything's about her. And so Maddie kind of like consoles him and they come back out and it's just a very awkward. So then they try to lighten the mood and they go to the bar and have a good time. Emmy ends up going back to her room. Lake, Mia, and Molly end up making up. So that's a good note because that was tiring. And then the next morning, they all go ziplining. Have you ever been ziplining
Like, way back in high school, I think.
in high school?
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't zip lining, it was like a high ropes course, never mind.
Okay.
I don't know if I could do zip lining, I'm scared of heights.
You're scared of heights?
I am. And just thinking about it is making my palms sweat.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm scared of heights.
I didn't know that. I didn't
Would
know.
I do it? Probably just to say I've done it,
Uh-huh.
but
Good
yeah.
thing we didn't make you ride the roller coasters at Nickelodeon.
Oh, I would've if I needed to, but
Okay.
definitely
Okay.
scares me. Definitely scares
Okay.
me.
Note to self, don't take you on anywhere that has
Yes.
heights. Um, they go to dinner, um, and they go to it's called Sky Dinner. So you're sitting 150 feet up in the air.
I'd
And
have
I said,
enjoyed that.
never. No,
No.
I'm
No.
not scared of heights, but I'm not eating I I eat standing up. I want to enjoy peaceful eating. I could never. And they do it. And I'm like, this is crazy. They
What?
can't
Like, what
really, and
happens
if
if
they're
you
fighting, they can't
Yeah.
leave.
What happens
They
if you
can't
drop
leave.
something? Does it just go down, like, hit someone?
Yeah, what's his face? Who's Maddie? Joe. Joe ends up dropping his fork, like silverware, 3 or
Did
4
he?
pieces of
Missed
silver.
that. And then, like, do they have more up there? Like, I don't know, that was I mean, it's a cool experience to say you've done it, but
Yeah. No, no, it was very, and if they're arguing, they can't, it's almost like they have to make up because if I argue with you, I can't get up and leave.
you can't get up, you're
So,
stuck for at
yeah.
least an hour.
Right. So it was good. Nobody really fought. I mean, people tried to make up. Emmy and Molly tried to make up, but I don't think it worked. Like, I just don't even know what they're really fighting about. They tried to play like last season where Emmy was jealous because Molly, her boy, or Emmy's boyfriend flirted with Molly in the bar or something like that. I don't know. Some long exaggerated thing. So it didn't end up well for Emmy, of course. Nobody really is getting along with her except for like Maddie and Lake, I think.
Yeah.
Brad ends up the next so they're done with that. Then the following day, Brad plays a joke on the group and says him and Julie broke up. And then she runs in the room and they all start screaming, which I thought was funny.
I was like, "How did this happen? What happened?" I
Yeah, I
believed
was
it.
like, wait, what? Like, this just came out of nowhere. So it was funny. Brad's a really good actor. So I did not know Maddie confesses that she was diagnosed with celiac. Do we know what
Yeah.
celiac is? Celiac does
I
something.
I thought that was gluten-free, but maybe I'm thinking of the wrong one, right? Isn't that
Yeah.
called celiac disease? Is
Celiac
gluten-free?
is it's an autoimmune disorder where the ingestion, yeah, the gluten, a protein,
It's
wheat,
gluten, right?
barley, and rye damages the smaller intestine, leading to, but I guess for like women, it kind of, it's infertility too. And sometimes you're not as fertile. So women have to freeze their eggs. So she said she's going to freeze her eggs. She told Joe she took some blood work. She's scared to look at it. But yeah, you have to avoid rye, barley, processed food, anything in a can, bread,
Yeah.
pasta, beer. That is my daily intake.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
I know people that have that, and
Yeah.
it just sounds terrible.
Sorry, I just kept reading that because now I'm like, maybe I should have my blood checked. Uh, TJ talks to Michael in the pool. I don't know if you saw this. It was like weird.
Yeah.
TJ was like kind of being like standoffish to Michael. And it's like, I really don't feel you that way, even though we keep making out and everybody keeps talking about it. Michael just uses the excuse, I don't remember because we've been drunk every time we make out.
Yeah.
And then TJ's like, "Well, you tell me you love me." And he was like, "Yeah, but I was drunk." And then TJ's like, "I think he's embarrassed."
Yeah. I mean, they say
TJ,
drunk words are sober thoughts, so,
this is, oh, dear Lord, don't
you
say
know?
that. TJ
No.
wants a long-term relationship and Michael is new to the game, meaning that he just came out on the show. So, and Michael says that's not how he feels when they're alone. So TJ is kind of playing the game. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about those two if they're trying to make a storyline between them. I think they're just having fun. But TJ doesn't want to look like a party boy.
Yeah.
and that he's looking for an actual serious relationship. And then Michael invites Maddie, Joe, and Lake and TJ to a church that he used to go to as a child. And on the way there, he tries to call his mom on video and or talk to his mom and was like, "Hey, can you video me while we go to the church so I can show you the church or the church we went to?" And she was just not having it.
She was not, yeah.
No, it wasn't good look. And that's the second time he's called her, and she's kinda been
She
like,
said
"No, I don't wanna be on video. So, stop calling your mom on the show because she's
yeah.
gonna say no." And that's kinda where the episode ends. It's a filler.
Yeah, it was 100% a filler, yeah. I can go to Ladies of London. So this was the last season or the last episode of the season. We start with Michaela having her first live course of etiquette coaching. Mark and Missy are there to show her support. Missy and Mark end up talking about like the whole issue with Margot. Mark gets very emotional and ends up leaving to just like decompress and comes back. Missy the next day visits her brother's grave and Kimmy comes to support her. He's the one that was randomly shot out with his family. I don't remember why, but this was like a couple years ago. So she goes to see her brother's grave. Mark and Margot meet up. Mark said when they fought, it brought him back to a bad place when he was gay and hadn't come out yet. Margot brings up that he was flirting with her, and he said that was funny because he wasn't, and then left. So they don't really end on good terms. It's the day of Lottie's husband's fashion show, and this is Lottie's last time walking in it before they have their baby. All the ladies come. Walking into the fashion show, Margot says she has made peace with the Mark drama, but she needs to talk to Martha about it. The fashion show was good, but I feel like it was very short, and Lottie was cute walking in it with her little pregnant belly, and they kind of announced to everyone that expecting a baby. Martha and Margot sit down to chat, and they both feel definitely a certain type of way. Martha says she feels Margot came back from America with a different character. She was ignorant and bitchy. And Margot tells her that she met up with Mark and he didn't take any ounce of accountability. Margot says the reason people started making fun of her clothes this season was because of Martha, and Martha said that's not true. Martha says she's been trying to be a good friend to her and she loves her, and they just kind of leave it like that. So then we just get like the end clips where everyone is at. Martha is back in her house or back on her horse that she gave up. Lottie had her baby boy in October of 2025. Michaela said she learned to let go of bad friend, aka that Dana girl that was the architect girl that was a bitch to her the first 2 episodes. Missy is back into modeling, and Marks and Margot helped heal his vulnerability side that he hasn't been able to show. So just a quick little end there. And as far as I know, Bravo's not bringing them back.
The
So
Ladies of London's not having another season?
as far as I know, they weren't announced on that announcement that Bravo dropped, so and I know a lot of people like this season of it.
Yeah, I didn't get into it. I need to catch up. I don't know, maybe it's just a different style, a different taste.
Maybe. Yeah. Should we do Beverly Hills? Just a quick little recap
Yeah, if
of
you yeah.
2 and 3. I mean, all I have to say is that Erica, Dorit, and Kyle just went at it these last 2
It's it
episodes.
was it just got uninteresting because they're not gonna make up. They're all 3 alpha. They all wanna
Yes.
be alpha females, and it's like, they don't even know what they're fighting about anymore.
That's kinda how I felt. I was like, "What are we fighting about?" I don't even
What are
remember at this point.
right.
So, I just felt like that's what this was. It was like you said, it was hard to watch. Episode 3 of the reunion, I had it on in the background because I couldn't invest my time into it anymore. I don't really think anything really stood out to me as far as what anyone said, like, majority of it was those 3 going at it.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah, I didn't pay attention, and then Bose and Amanda, but that wasn't even important because they had Amanda
yeah, it
sitting
wasn't
on the last seat, and
yeah,
so I really think they need to change Beverly Hills. They need to change it. Yeah, I'm sorry, Kyle. Like, I just feel like you're drowning everybody
yeah,
else out. Like, you're just
yeah.
it's not fun anymore.
I think they need to put it on pause like they did for Jersey and New York for, like,
And
a year
Miami.
or something. Yeah, and just let it yeah, and Miami, and just let it simmer, and maybe bring back a whole new cast. I mean,
Mhm.
I
A
like Kathy.
whole new cast.
Yeah, Kathy's great as a friend of, and I like
Mhm.
Rachel. Rachel
I do
can
like
stay,
Kathy.
but
Rachel, yeah,
I think everyone else needs to
they need
come
to
back.
chop it.
Yeah. Atlanta.
Girl, they're wild. Let's see, Atlanta episode 5 and 6. The girls go to Dallas. I like Dallas. I've been to Dallas. So they do a dress up. Cynthia has them all dress up like the show Dynasty. And I'm like, they got
Okay.
to get on a plane. I want to wear
Yeah.
jeans, tennies, and a hoodie. Like, I don't want to
Yeah.
dress up like a movie star. Some of the girls got it, some of the girls didn't. It was quite funny because in the confessions, they're like, nope, never seen it. They all get to the house, and of course, some of the ladies have issues with the room. It's always an issue. Everybody should just run and first come, first serve.
Yeah.
So the ladies, Shamia, they put Shamia and Kelly in a house separate from the house, the big house.
Yeah.
So their house, it's just a hot mess. The ladies end up getting ready for dinner. Shamia and Kelly, when they actually look at it's like a guest house. Aside from, like, it's like a house where you would put, like, the makeup artist or the
Yeah.
the nanny or something like that. So it wasn't really clean, and they were kind of upset. They were so upset that they didn't wanna get dressed for dinner. And so it was just a whole debacle, and Pinky ends up talking to them, and, like, they just feel outcasted because all the other girls got to stay inside the house, and they were
Yeah.
the only 2 because they're good friends. Cynthia thought that it would be fun for them to have a side house. And Shamia's not getting along with Portia.
Yeah.
Kelly tells the story, before they came on the trip, he went on social media and somehow, like, I don't know, he was trying to see his daughters and started it. Like, put a big picture of both of them on a poster and stuff like that, and just made a big scene, and Kelly was just very hurt, and since then, now she's fighting with him in court about putting their kids on TV or something like that. Pinky tells Cynthia and the girls at dinner that they felt singled out. Pinky gets into it with Angela. It was crazy, like, Pinky just came in very aggressive because
Mhm.
she's one of those people that sticks up for her friends, her closest friends, but doesn't realize, like, you're also supposed to build a relationship with the other girls because you are new, Pinky. So at the end of the day, don't think just because you're sticking up for Shamia and Kelly that you're gonna get your spot next year. And so I don't know what happens. All of the sudden, like, Angela says, "You seem very tense," or "You just seem very aggressive." And I think that word made, like, Pinky just go off. And it was very long and drawn out. And then at the end of it, they end up saying, "I'm sorry," and make up. Angela does say during her fight at the end that Pinky has a live in wife in the basement. And I just was like, "What?" So we're gonna see how that goes. And then it goes to episode 6. And the episode 6 is the following
Wait,
day,
who
the
was a live-in
ladies
wife? Who was a live-in
that
wife?
Pinky has a live-in wife.
Really? I mean, I could
And
see that.
yeah.
I could see
Yeah.
that.
Angela starts in on it, and then she goes, "Well, let's not talk about your live-in wife." And then I just don't know where that came from, left field.
She's
So
Pinky's interesting, so I wouldn't put it past her.
yeah, like her husband, or I think it's her husband,
Yeah, I think it's
offered
her.
to pay her $1,000,000 debt, so
Yeah,
someone's got
and she said
money.
no.
Well, she
I
said
would've
no,
said
but I'm
heck
pretty sure she took it.
I would've said, "Heck yeah,
Yeah,
if you
I'm
can
pretty
do
sure she
that."
took it. Drew and Shimea talk about their drama while they're getting ready, and some of the girls are eating breakfast, and they keep saying, "We don't have an issue with each other, we just don't have anything to apologize for."
Yeah.
So I don't get it. It's like a long drawn out situation that's like dull and boring. Half the group go cattle roundup and then the other half go to go see horses. And basically they're on this trip because Cynthia has a new tequila brand with another lady,
Mhm.
an OG lady. And some of the ladies start talking about Pinky and how aggressive she is. And Kate kind of puts it into perspective of, like, her aggression is passion. So some people when they have a passion or they wanna stick up for their friends, it comes off passive aggressive,
Yeah.
basically. That's what it is, yeah. She's aggressive, but she's also has that's called pass. Yeah. So when it comes to her friends, she goes hard, which I kind of agree with. But then again, like, I think Pinky kind of is just coming in hot. She's coming in
Yeah.
strong. She wants that first seat. And by all means, she may get it.
Mhm.
Poor Phaedra tells a little bit of her story, her background, that she used to do dressage, which is like a horseback riding, but it's like horse jumping and stuff. So she did that as a little kid, which I find very interesting because that's a very expensive sport. And your parents must have had money because that's not something that you just like, hey, let's go pick up soccer or let's go do baseball. This is like once you're in it, you're in it. Cynthia calls out the girls. I don't know what that was. The cattle drive people. They drive like almost 2 hours to go see this cattle walk, and they get there and it's literally this old town, like tumbleweeds rolling by, and it lasts for like 30 seconds. And the cattle go from one end of the road to the other and up the cobble road. And it was so funny because they're like, we drove all the way up here just to see that. And it was crazy. So then they end up making, light of the situation and they get on this cattle and girl, the pictures that they are taking is
I bet.
like for a sex calendar, and I was
Yeah,
just like,
yeah.
"Oh my god, I would love to see those people that they're just in this town and they
Right, and
don't,
they just have
they don't know what a TV is or something, and just probably in shock." The other ladies that are with the horses, they end up having a wine tasting in the middle of the barn. And it's, like, literally smells like cow manure.
I
And
bet.
Angela's like,
Can you imagine?
"Why would you set up in the barn? Why?"
Yeah.
So, having a wine tasting, so you're tasting this wine, but your
Ugh,
nose is connected to your taste bud
ugh,
sensories. So, can you imagine drinking wine and just sitting in a pile of manure?
that
How
sounds so bad.
gross that like, I am really hoping that the manure they use was not ferment like, you know how you have to spray
Yeah,
manure on the
yeah.
anyways, my head went left. But they ended up having fun and laughing, and Phaedra, Portia, they all get drunk, Kelly gets drunk, Angela gets drunk, and Angela's dress, she wore short dresses the whole trip, and basically, like, her whole time she was struggling, and her whole time she was there, she was just fixing her dress or trying not to like, expose herself, and I was just like, I hope she
Oh,
learns that next time, wear pants or long dresses.
yeah.
It was bad. Cynthia tells, like I guess Cynthia so they go to after the cattle thing, the other group of ladies go to dinner. Pinky kinda makes it known that Cynthia didn't think of her because she's vegan, but you're in Dallas, you're in the country. A lot of
Yeah,
people aren't vegan. Every restaurant is gonna be steak, beef, chicken, you know?
ribs.
So when you're a vegan, you have to realize, like, bring a snack, put something in your purse, have a backup or something, or just like, don't be so cynical about it. I mean,
Yeah,
this trip was, Cynthia tells Pinky, like, you monopolize the conversation at the table and then you don't let anybody else speak. And then once that person speaks, it's like you get into a heated conversation and
yeah,
nobody wants to be that's not like, it's not very I don't want to confront you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to have a conversation. I don't even
yeah,
want to sit at the table with you. It's uncomfortable.
yeah, yeah,
And Drew says you're aggressive too. And then Pinky's like, when you say aggressive and the color of my skin, it looks bad because we're all trying to not show that type. Pinky and Kelly said that they are both, oh my God. And then after all of that, they get back to the house and Pinky and Kelly are sitting in Pinky's room. And they're basically just talking about how them two are businesswomen and they built from ground up, and none of these other women know how to build a business or something like that. And basically, they say that Angela made her money by laying on her back. And I just like, what? Because she married a basketball player? Like, she's legit trying to do something with the housing, the market
yes, yeah,
in Atlanta, it's really hard their, real estate test is one of the hardest tests out of all of the states. Like, Atlanta
really.
is really hard to pass. Because I think, like, you only get 3 chances, I think, or something like that.
Wow.
So it's really hard to pass. So we know she's smart enough to be a realtor. She's got some brains on her.
Yeah.
And then also, Angela says, in her confessions, I didn't have to file for bankruptcy. 2 million was out of my pocket. I
Yeah.
didn't borrow it. I don't owe people money. I had to file for bankruptcy for it not to go into foreclosure or something like that.
Something, yeah.
The room is finally clean and the girl Kelly and Shamia are happy. I saved the last one for the best because on the way back they were taking the Sprinter bus
Mhm.
and Kelly and Portia are talking or they're trying to let Kelly and Portia hash it out. And they're hashing out about the whole you slept with a married man or you slept with a married man. And Portia knows who it is, and Phaedra knows who it is. Portia's like, "It's true, it's true, it's true," and Kelly's like, "You slept with a married man too," and Portia's like, "I didn't. No, I didn't." And she goes, "You slept with R. Kelly." And then Portia's like, "He
Uh,
wasn't married," and then Kelly's like, "He was married at the time," and so then it gets heated, and Portia almost says the guy's name that she slept with because Kelly is trying to get it out of her.
yeah, yeah,
It's almost like she's, antagonizing to get it out of
yeah,
her, and Phaedra, like, taps Portia and is like, "Do not say it." And on the confession, Phaedra goes, I don't want his name to be said because I am friends with both of them, and I don't want it to come out for the because, I know the wife well."
yeah. Wow.
So now I'm curious.
Yeah. They're dropping some tea.
Now I'm curious on who she slept with, which I'm pretty sure it'll come out. But that's how yeah. I'm sorry, that's how the end of the episode goes.
I don't think I watched that one yet. Was that the one that just aired this week?
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, I don't think I watched that one yet. I'm all finished with Vanderpump Villa episode 2 and 3. So episode 2, we start back off with Stassi talking to Marciano about the whole Demi Jesse thing. Stassi said they had an emotional affair and hooked up a couple of times. And she said she knows once was at Sheena Shea's house. This is about Jesse. She said she will get to the bottom of it. Ekin-Su, who is from Love Island UK, is arriving, and Hogan is the butler since their butler left. The staff that are guys are in awe of Ekin-Su. They're all just like, "Oh my god, she's the hottest thing I've ever seen in my life." The new, I thought this was so funny. Ekin-Su, and her guests arrive, and they all ask Marciano if he is gay. I thought that was the funniest thing. I was like, "I am dead at that comment."
He has a lot of Botox.
I know,
It's, like, obsessed.
I know. Ekin-Su says there's a weird vibe from the Made in Chelsea group, and they kinda know each other a little bit. Some of them have crossed paths, but she says she's getting a weird vibe from them. They're having 2 different dinners tonight, Ekin-Su's dinner and then the Made in Chelsea group. Tina, who is from the Made in Chelsea group, her and Ekin-Su know each other. And they talk about the guys that are there, and Tina says she really likes Charlie, who's one of the staff members. And Ekin-Su says, "Oh yeah, he's cute." And Charlie said that he is mine. And Ekin-Su says, "Well, you aren't married." So Ekin-Su is clearly into Charlie, and they start to flirt. Hannah is really in her hoe phase right now, and Marciano does not like it at all. Marciano says she plays with his head and that they hooked up, and that when they hook up, she says she will say, "I love you." Hannah shows text that he wants to hook up with her, and she says that she hasn't ever sent a text saying, "Hey, let's go ahead and hook up." Sam says he wasn't aware of how deep Marciano and Hannah's feelings went, and it turns him off. The Made in Chelsea group asked Nick, the bartender, to make him I forget what drink it was, to make him a drink and to pour some wine, and he says he doesn't know how to do that. So they call him out saying, "Do you really know how to bartend? Like, how did you get this position if you can't pour wine and make this drink?" Because he said, "I don't know what that drink is that you want." Well, he couldn't make a whiskey sour.
Ah.
And he asked one of the guests what's in it. So the next day, Sam goes to Lisa, his aunt, and tells her that Nick doesn't know how to bartend. And Lisa's like, "Well, that's really interesting because he told me he did, and he had this really long resume." It's dinner time, and it's Sam and Alicia's engagement party. And Sue and her friends are there, and it's still just a weird vibe between the two groups. So right now, it's 10 hours until checkout. Ekin-Su is flirting really hard with Charlie because he asked Tina out on a date, and she's kind of a bitch for doing that. Like, she's not a girl's girl. She's in it for herself and to do whatever. It's
You get that
it's
vibe.
yeah. Tina and Ekin-Su, are friends, but Tina starts to cry over seeing Ekin-Su going after Charlie. They talk, and Ekin-Su said it's not her fault. All the guys want her. And she says she's not interested in them, she's just having fun. So then this starts the drama, of course, and Marciano stepping right into this drama again. Sam, tells them tells Ekin-Su and her friends to stay away because they started drama, and he says that no one wants she says no one will tell her what to do. After Sam says, "Hey, stop, you're causing unnecessary drama." Marciano says Ekin-Su said Tina is jealous of her and that guys aren't into Tina. So Ekin-Su follows them inside, and a drama doesn't stop until the staff literally makes Ekin-Su leave. So 20 minutes later, she comes back out and says she wants to talk to Sam and Tina, but the staff won't let her. And even Marciano was like, "Hey, no, you just need to go to bed and like leave this alone." Ekin-Su, she says she feels like the Made in Chelsea group was looking down on them. I was trying to say. But yeah, the episode, they just kind of leave it like that. Episode 3, it's the final toast, and both groups are eating breakfast separately. Charlie and Marciano get on the comment card as the favorites, which is kind of interesting that Marciano got on the comment card. Lisa gives the staff a day out, and they have someone new arrives. And the new housekeeper is Adair. And she was actually, I don't know if you watch Below Deck, but she was actually on one of the Below Deck episodes as I think she worked out on like the outside of the boat with the guys. So she is a new housekeeper. The staff goes to ride like these gondolas that is something I feel like I would see in Italy. So they're all kind of like paired up like two and two on this like little gondola ride, and they're on the way. They stop and have like this like floating bar, so they all get drinks. Hannah and Sam talk about how they are just friends, but Hannah wants to hook up, but Sam said things have changed after he heard more about Hannah and Marciano. Hannah is mad that Hagen is a part of this Hannah and Sam circle and that he like inserts himself into their drama. And
Mm.
Hagen thinks Sam and Hannah have this relationship just for the show. So Sassy joins and says both Sam and Hannah are in the wrong, and Marciano is mad that they're in the wrong, and that Hannah really needs to do what's good for her and not just to pursue this relationship because they're on the show. So as they go to leave, Stassi runs into Marciano, and Marciano is pissed that Stassi sided with Hannah. But she said he shouldn't have hooked up with the Mormon housewives and lie about it. And like, and what else did she say? Something about Hannah, not like drag her into this, but also like drag her along and say
Right.
like you took her and all this stuff. So Hannah said she still has feelings for Marciano, and messing with other people made her realize she still loves him, which I think
Oh.
they're always going to have that love. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? They've had this on and off relationship for a while. So then on the next day, one of the cooks decides to leave, so they're short in the kitchen. In their team meeting, Lisa calls out Nick for not being able to bartend, and she said he is going to be a bar back from here on out till he can prove that he can do that job. The next guests are Olivia and Theo from the challenge. I've never watched the challenge on MTV, but apparently they are a really rambunctious group and like to have a good time but also cause drama. This new guest, Josh, who's from the challenge, is flirting with both Meredith and Hannah. And Meredith and Hannah are like going back and forth. Hannah's like, "Well, I can do what I want, and he likes me, and I don't give like a fuck about what he thinks about Meredith and stuff like that." And Meredith is like, "I don't really care if he likes Hannah. It is what it is." Like, it's just funny to see them talk like that. And this group is already a hot mess. So the guests are already there. Mind you, one of these girls is pregnant, and they're there to kind of like celebrate her. And we end with learning that the guests are drinking so much. They had 300 beers, and they're almost out of the beers and out of the non-alcoholic drinks as well. That's how much this group is drinking. I know. It's wild how much they drink. Oh, and it just gets messier from here, but I'll leave it there.
That's crazy.
We can go to Bravo News. Madison LaCroix is getting her own series on Peacock called Salon Confessionals. So that will be interesting to
Madison
see her. LaCroix, sorry. I don't know why I said
from
Leroy.
where Madison
Southern Charm.
called Salon Confessions. Interesting.
Yeah. And then
Because they
Bravo.
know all the heat. They know all the drama.
They do. They're like therapists.
Yeah.
Bravo dropped some new shows that they're gonna be launching. So they're doing Behind the Scenes with Lisa Vanderpump in Vegas, and then Secret Lives, Texas Wives. So that will be interesting. I wonder if it's
Hmm.
supposed to be like, The Real Housewives of Dallas, but like a different spin on it.
Yeah.
So then the shows that they said are returning are Rhode Island, The Valley Parisian, Wife Swap, Southern Charm, Summer House, Salt Lake City, Potomac, New York, and Atlanta. So nothing about Beverly Hills, nothing about Miami, and nothing about the Valley, or what was the other one? There's another one that they didn't say was coming back.
London.
Yes, Ladies of London. So the shows that are premiering this summer, Nick B, Next Gen. I don't know why it says thick. I think that's supposed to be Real Housewives of OC, and then the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. So again, nothing about Jersey, but I thought they were filming for Jersey. And then they launched the Next Gen season 2 trailer. And I also heard that BravoCon is returning for 2027, and that this October there's going to be a Bravo Fan Fest in Charleston.
I saw that.
And then the last thing I heard is that James Kennedy is expecting a baby with his new girlfriend.
I saw
Did you?
that too. I
So
saw that
I
too.
don't know if I missed anything, but those were kind of what I remembered was go.
There's one other. Liz and Dino are in FBI investigation. Did you hear that? I don't know why. We'll have to research it more. But yeah, Dino is being
Interesting.
investigated by the FBI for over 6 years now, and Liz is also involved in the investigation.
Dang.
Remember, they own a weed shop, pot shop. So a lot of
Yeah,
it is,
probably that.
remember, you don't, so when you buy pot, a lot of, they made it, it's only cash. You can't use credit card.
Mm,
So it could be tax evasion because a lot of times when you have cash, you don't have to,
yeah.
yeah. So you know how that rolls. So that could be what it is.
And I feel like this tends to happen more once you put yourself out in the spotlight, that
Mm,
these allegations come against you.
kind of looks like Teresa
Teresa,
and you know.
yeah, my first thought. My
Mm,
first thought. Was there anything else that we missed?
yeah, nothing that we really missed hardcore. I mean, the reunion is coming. Summer House reunion's coming up.
What's going on with Wes and, what's her face? Margaret, not Margaret, that Jen Fessler.
I
What's
don't
this whole,
know.
like,
Well, she
thing
made
going
a
on?
comment and was defending Wes.
Watch What Happens Live, right? That's all I
Yeah.
know.
She made a comment or she posted a picture of both of them from Watch What Happens Live or whatever and made a comment like, "Don't hate on my Westie," or "Westie's the bestie," or whatever.
Okay.
And then Sierra commented and basically said, "Yeah, because you guys slept together." And then the whole internet blew up. And then Jen came after her and apparently threatened her behind closed curtains. And then who's the Vanita posted something like, "How are you going to threaten someone when everybody knows the truth," or something
I
like that.
did see that. I was wondering what that meant.
So Lindsay just made the comment and said, "We knew this rumor before everybody else knew." I know Lindsay always likes to fact check things. So
Yeah.
if Lindsay says it's true, it may be true. But also Jen Fessler's married with kids and stuff like that. So
I mean, wouldn't be the first time.
Mhm.
So, interesting. Alright, well, that is all I have.
Yeah. And that's a wrap on the episode of Bravo's Moms Unfiltered. We hope you had as much fun listening as we did spilling the tea. Because let's be real, moms need unfiltered moments too.
Make sure to follow us wherever you get your podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you love today's chat, leave us a review. It will help other Bravo loving moms find us.
Yes, don't forget to follow us on Spotify, Apple, what else?
Amazon Music.
Amazon. And then also Instagram.
Yes.
And yeah, like us,
That
star
is it.
us, give us your opinion, please, please, please.
Yes. Yes. Until next time, keep the wine chilled, the drama on TV, and the mom life real.
See you next week, Bravo Moms.
I'm reckless, offensive. I destroy your defenses. My guest list is priceless, and yes, I run a tight ship.